I need to confess something. If you're a small art channel and you've watched my content and commented on my videos over the past few months, there's a decent chance that I've gone to your channel, watched your content, and taken notes on what you're doing and maybe even subscribed. I didn't just do that because I wanted to get to know all of you, although of course I do, but I also did that because I wanted to figure out what was holding your content back and how all of you could improve, because I wanted to share the common mistakes I see a lot of art YouTubers making. The first mistake that I see a ton of small art YouTubers making is that they don't have a desired audience in mind when they're crafting their content. If your videos are all over the place and you genuinely can't think of a broad enough group of people that would enjoy every single video that you make, there's something wrong. What you need is a common link that threads all of your content together so it seems more cohesive. The best way to do this is to have a really specific description of your ideal audience, what their age range is, what their desires are, what their goals are, what their fears are, their motivations, their insecurities. The more detailed your list becomes, the more laser focused your content can be, so you can really appeal really strongly to this type of person that you want to attract. This isn't exactly niching down, though it's, I guess, something adjacent to that. You're really just hyper-focusing your content so that when you make a video, it's just more effective. Let's look at an example of my own audience though. When I made my own really detailed description, these are the few things that I was really thinking of. My content, generally, I'm crafting it to appeal to artists who might not be full-time right now, but are looking to become a full-time artist, and they're struggling with social media, they're struggling to be consistent, they want to level up their skills, and they're frustrated, overwhelmed, feeling lots of negative emotions, wondering if they're gonna be able to make it, and are looking to improve their content, their strategy online, and build their audience and make money. That's a lot of stuff. You can see how it would all condense into one person. And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you are that type of person. There are a lot of things that can be included in this description, but the stuff that is really effective is typically when you're trying to answer a problem for someone, a question that they have about something. So for example, my content about non-toxic oil painting, growing on YouTube, making money as an artist, all of those videos are performing really, really well, and they have been for a while, and that's because I'm answering a question, I'm providing value in those videos. But there is a common link that's threading all of that content together, and that's art, oil painting, making money, growing your audience online, and just becoming a small full-time artist. You can see how all of that would fit together. And the big thing that this strategy does is it allows all of my videos, all of my content to play off of each other. Every single video has a connection to the last one. Nothing feels like it's coming out of nowhere. It all feels very connected. And that means that if you stumble onto my channel, you can binge watch all of my content and you probably like every single video, because I've deliberately crafted my content to appeal to the kind of audience that I want to attract. When you don't do this, you could run into a really tricky problem, which I like to call a split audience. So let's take person A. Person A is a YouTuber, and half of their content is about oil painting and half of it is about skateboarding. Sometimes they make bridge videos where they do oil paints on a skateboard, but most of their content is split between these two groups that aren't really all that connected. They talk about skateboarding product reviews, how to do various tricks in skateboarding, how they learn skateboarding, and the same kinds of videos for oil painting, but there's really no bridge between those two kinds of content. It feels very separate. What I would suggest if you're in this situation is that you have to pick one. And if you can't pick one, make two different channels, and then you'll probably be much better off with both of those things. But when you do this, when you have two different types of content on your channel, you're gonna attract two different kinds of people, oil painters and skateboarders, and maybe a few that dabble in both. That's not going to be the majority. And then you're going to have half of your audience only interested in half of your content. That's not really what you want. That's not gonna help you get 4,000 hours of watch time, which you need to get monetized. The second big mistake that I see a lot of you guys making is just in regards to the quality of your content. I really recommend that before you upload a video, before you export it from your editing software, you watch the whole thing through at least once. And I guarantee you, when you do this, when you watch the whole video through, no matter how long it is, you're going to notice mistakes. Places where you have pauses that are too long, places where you have too many filler words like ums and likes. And if you look through my early content, you can tell that I did not do this. A lot of the watch time of my early videos is horrible because I have pauses that are too long, I have too many filler words. My content just wasn't engaging enough. The thing thing that I've been doing recently is making sure that I'm keeping you guys engaged by being much more ruthless in my editing. So my videos on average are a little bit shorter than they used to be, and that's because I'm cutting a lot of stuff out, a lot of pauses, filler words. I'm changing scenes really often. I'm adding in like title cards and like sound design animation, like the camera shutter that you guys see when I change scenes. That's deliberate, and it's to help you understand, to help your brain understand that I am changing a scene, I'm doing something different, I'm doing it to keep you engaged. And once I started doing that, my watch time increased by a lot, but I also noticed that the views on my videos and my subscribers really started to increase when I started doing this. And the last thing that I want to talk about in this video are thumbnails. A lot of thumbnails of small art YouTubers are just not that great. I want to set you guys up for success, and that means having quality thumbnails, because the thumbnail is like the packaging for your video. That's the first thing someone sees about your content. If it's not good enough, they'll never click on it, and you'll never get the views in the first place. A few tips that I've been doing to increase the click-through rate of my thumbnails is having the hook, something engaging. It doesn't have to be clickbaity. You want it to be either like aesthetically pleasing, interesting, thought-provoking, and like making someone curious about what's gonna happen next, what's gonna actually happen in the video. But you also want someone to be able to instantly recognize your content when they see your thumbnail. So having your face in the thumbnail, great. Having consistent fonts, consistent colors, all of those things contribute to the branding of your content, and all of that stuff really helps just the overall quality of your channel. When you start paying attention to the cohesiveness of your thumbnails, just like you would your art portfolio if you're submitting it for an AP art exam or something, you want that to be really consistent. You want everyone to be able to know who you are through your branding. Anyway, I hope this video was useful for you. This is actually the last video that you're gonna see from me in this space, because right now, as you're watching this, I am moving into my brand new apartment in New York City, moving all the way across the country via plane. It's going to be a really interesting time. If you want to check out my New York City vlog series that I will be starting very soon, you can click this right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.